All right, we've got Michael Bisping. People are talking about this. Michael Bisping versus GSP. GSP coming back. What do I think? Should this fight happen? What would happen if they fought? First of all, this fight most definitely should not happen. It's not fair to Michael Bisping. It's not. I've never been a big fan of Michael Bisping. But, I mean, you got to give the guy credit where credit's due. I mean, he fought Anderson Silva, and granted, he pretty much got knocked out in that fight. But, I mean, Bisping came, he was in great shape, and he beats Anderson Silva. I mean, he won more rounds. I forget how the fight went, what rounds were what, but you know, he almost knocked Anderson out at one point. You know, I didn't really know where that put Michael Bisping as far as skill level. But hey, man, he like I said, he came to the Anderson Silva fight, and the guy was in shape, man. He never stopped moving his head, and Anderson was like trying to get ready to punch, and every time he got ready to punch, Bisping was moving his head. I mean, at his size, to be in that kind of shape at his age, to move like that, like he did in that fight, was pretty remarkable. And then he shows up, the underdog, does the, I won't say the impossible, but I mean, he beats Luke Rockhold. I mean, nobody saw that coming. Not only does he beat him, you know, he knocks him out. I mean, just unbelievable. So, I mean, Michael Bisping, the champion. So, in other words, he worked hard. You know, take any other fighter, say, look, you have to beat Anderson Silva. I know Anderson Silva's older now, but you have to beat Anderson Silva, and then you have to beat Luke Rockhold. In other words, if you take George St. Pierre and say, hey, George St. Pierre, we'll give you a title shot, but first you have to fight Anderson Silva, and then you have to fight Luke Rockhold. You see how I'm getting at? Luke Rockhold will probably beat GSP, and you know, would GSP beat Anderson Silva? I don't think so. I don't. I mean, it's hard to say. But you know, Anderson Silva, aside from the Chael Sonnen fight, which Anderson won, he's not known for. He doesn't lose fights like that. He does not lose fights by being held down. We see guys try, and he still finds a way to win. So, really, the only person that's really had Anderson Silva's number was Chris Weidman. I think that was just a bad matchup. He was like Anderson Silva's kryptonite, you know. And anyway, I don't think George St. Pierre should just waltz in and get to fight Michael Bisping. And the reason is because I don't respect GSP. I said it before, and people get pissed off, but you know why Michael Bisping works his butt off. I mean, he's got this messed up eye, and he beats Anderson Silva, beats Luke Rockhold. You know, why should he have to go in there and fight some guy who's going to do that loophole, you know, lay and pray garbage, 5 rounds of lay and pray? I mean, that's all George St. Pierre is going to do. He might not even be able to do it. I don't, you know, George St. Pierre, total steroid user, all those years. People get mad if you want. The guy was juiced to the gills. His face, he looked roided out in his eyes. He looked like a female bodybuilder, like, you know, literally, just got their roided out face with the jawbone, not to mention his body. I mean, and they weren't drug testing, he only fight in Canada. The guy's a total steroid user, lay and pray fighter. You know, he should not get to just waltz in. And honestly, I don't think that's going to work. I mean, are they going to drug test George St. Pierre? Is George St. Pierre going to be drug tested? Because they never drug tested this guy. Like I said, he always fight in Canada. Every time you see him, he fight in Canada. You know, but the thing is that things have changed these last couple of years with the drug testing. And we've seen people trying to do, you know, follow in GSP's footsteps, you know, play it safe, like Rory McDonald, you know, trying to play it safe, and it coming up on the losing end. You know, he's like I said, Rory was doing that with Robbie Lawler, and then boom, Robbie Lawler hit him hard, and you know what I mean. And I don't think that's going to work this day and age with these guys in the division, because first of all, you can make GSP, GSP against Michael Bisping. I just don't see it. You're going up a weight class. I started getting off topic, but you're going up a weight class. GSP is not very big. I think Michael Bisping would beat him. I think he would. I don't know. I don't know what George St. Pierre is thinking. Is he's not going to be able to use his he's kind of like the bigger guy, but George St. Pierre really isn't that big. I mean, he's a pretty small guy. He's strong and muscular in the 170-pound division, but in there with Michael Bisping, could he take Bisping down? I mean, I'm sure he can, but I don't think he's going to. I don't know how the fight would go, but I don't think George St. Pierre has earned the right for a title shot. I just haven't. It's like Conor McGregor. I mean, Conor McGregor fighting at 170 and 155, and they're talking about putting him. It's like you haven't even had one fight in the division. You know what I mean? If you're going to do that, fight out of your division, fight somebody mid-tier. Like Conor McGregor talked about fighting Robbie Lawler and all this nonsense. He couldn't even beat Nate Diaz. He couldn't even beat Nate Diaz, who was ranked like 20-something. And that was at 155. They didn't have ranked at 170. He's not even a 170 fighter. You couldn't even beat Nate Diaz. It's a middle of the pack. He was ranked 20-something in the 155 division. They moved him up after he beat Michael Johnson, after he beat one guy. And, so these guys talking about, I'm going to do this, and, to me, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I want to see the best fighters. We're getting cheated as fans. We're not seeing, where these guys are. I want to know right now. I mean, heck, man, even if somebody's gone for 2 months, if they haven't been training, if they were at a certain level, they'd be down here after 2 months if they're not training. So when somebody hasn't been around for years or a year, we have no idea where they're at, and it just doesn't make sense to just throw them in there with anybody. It's like, like Fedor. Fedor, they got this guy fighting all these cans, and yeah, he's making money, but then he goes in there against Maldonado, and that's somebody that we've seen, in the UFC, and so we kind of can size up where Fedor is. Like, was Fedor the more skilled fighter in that fight? Yeah, he was, and that's why he won. But it also shows that, he's not as strong as he was. He's not as dominant as he was. He's older. I mean, Fedor's like losing his hair. I'm losing my hair too. I'm the same age as Fedor, but it's like Fedor should probably just retire. But like, it's like, what if they're saying like, Fedor should fight for a title shot? Well, I mean, we need to see where these guys are at. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't want to see messed up matches, and it just, to me, it's cheating us as fans. Like, oh, they have this guy fight this guy just because of their name. We're not seeing the best fighters fighting the best guys. And you're putting mismatched opponents in there, and like I said, taking Michael Bisping and having to fight GSP. I actually think that Bisping would beat him. I do, because he beat Anderson Silva. He beat Luke Rockhold. You got George St. Pierre, a smaller guy, but I still don't think George St. Pierre should be able to just waltz in. And I don't know what that's all about either, because GSP should not be fighting in that one class. He's a 170-pound fighter. Simple as that. He's all muscled up. He's doing like Conor McGregor. He's probably all fat. And sitting there eating all he wants. So I'll just fight at a higher weight class, because I think that's what Conor. Conor's got all this money. I mean, he can go out. If he moves up in weight class, he can go out and eat steak dinners and eat all the potatoes and everything he wants to eat, and just fight at a bigger class. The problem is he started losing, but I think he was more I think Conor was more just celebrating. Let me go eat all I want. You know, let me just be a fat slob. And I think that's same with GSP. And so basically, GSP sucks. I don't ever want to see this guy ever again in any fight ever. The only time, if I ever want to see him in a fight, he ought to be in a real fight, and you'll see him lose because he never fought. He just lays on people. And you could argue that takes skill. It does take skill to take people down. But there's more to fighting than that. He's not causing anybody any damage. He's good at one thing, taking people down. He found a loophole in the scoring. And it's a shame that they let that go on for so long, because GSP absolutely sucks. You know, he stinks. His striking stinks. Everything about that guy stinks. I can't stand him. He's a steroid user. Get that fool out of here. He never was drug tested. If he was drug tested, he wouldn't have been able to muscle people around and do what he was doing. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'll see you guys later.